Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to do a video on the new Natasha Denona Sunset Palette. This was a palette that I was like convinced that I wasn't going to get. Now, I sometimes do get PR from Natasha Denona, and I've gotten a lot of things in PR, like the Pro Sculpt palette and their new foundation, the Foundation X, which I did do a full video on. So I didn't know if I was going to get this in PR, so I didn't buy it right away. And then all of a sudden I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it, which is fine. You know, they don't need to send everything in PR. But this was something that I really did want. So I went ahead and purchased it off of Sephora. So this is the Natasha Denona Sunset Palette. Now I do have the Star palette, which I have reviewed on my channel before, and I will leave that linked down below so you can check that out. I really, really love that palette. It is a very expensive palette. This is also running around the same. I think the Star palette is $169 or $59, and this one is $129. So they are rather pricey palettes, but I could not pass this palette up when I saw the shade range. I was like, I just can't. Like, this is just a shade range that speaks to me. You don't often see like yellows in palettes and reds in palettes. And I knew from the Star palette how much I love the formula of Natasha Denona matte shadows. So I knew this was going to have a lot of mattes. It has a lot of shimmers, then it has some more of the glittery shades, which you can use, press onto your eye, or use a glitter adhesive. I had a lot of luck with the Star palette. So I knew that I would get a lot of use out of this palette, especially because I liked the colors. So I sprang for it, and I had a lot of people asking me questions. Hey, are you gonna get this palette, or you know, what do you think? And I didn't think I was gonna get it, but now that I have it, I'm like, I'm doing a video. So what I'm gonna do, which I like to do in videos, is I'm gonna first go off on you. Now first I'm going to show you the swatches of the eyeshadows so that you can see the swatches, and then I'm going to click over into the tutorial. Now I like to use the palette, but some people are interested in only swatches and some people really do like to see the tutorial. So for those of you who are interested only in swatches, you can click off and you don't have to watch the tutorial, but the tutorial will be at the end for this look. And now I just really did the eyes. I do show you what I use on my face, but you know, it's mainly just for the eyes. So let's just go ahead and start off with the swatches. So first of all, the palette comes in a white packaging box like this. Just says Natasha Denona Sunset Palette. Now it has 15 eyeshadows in it, and they are 2.5 grams each. So 2.5 grams each. Now it does come with a mirror. This still has like the, I'm gonna leave that on honestly for swatching purposes so it doesn't blind you, but it still has a plastic peel over it. The thing about the Natasha Denona palettes that I don't love is this little plastic piece that tells you the names of the eyeshadows. Honestly, I want to just rip this thing off, and it does have a perforated part where you can rip it off, but I like to be able to know the names, especially if I'm going to be doing tutorials or anything like that, and you ever wanted to purchase any of these shadows in single form, which I do believe you can do. I'm not quite sure of which ones are sold in single, but for the purpose of being able to say the names of shades, I do like to have, you know, the names of them. So, but I just find this like annoying to me, or intrusive. I get why they do it, because it looks much cleaner to not have the names and just in the palette. They could have the option of having like a black sticker or even a clear sticker with white writing on the back here so that you could see the names of the palette. But anyways, they don't, and this is how it comes. So the names are all right here. So this is like more of like a sheen. This is a matte, this has a sheen, this has more of a like a metallic, and this has like a little bit bigger glitter particles. So I'm just gonna show you, like, these just swatch, like the mattes just are super duper pigmented and swatch so well. And then the glitter is like, it's a little bit more of a chunky shade, but let me just tell you, when you apply it with an adhesive on the eye, they're so worth it. I mean, that's how it swatches. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to show you these all close. They are so soft. Just one swipe is going to give these super opaque swatches that I'm about to show you. Here are the shades. They are super duper pigmented. They blend out really well. They're opaque. This shade is what I have all over my lid. This is an inner corner shade. I mean, these shades are all just so buttery, so nice, so blendable. So the formulas, you're definitely getting what you pay for as far as in the formula and the longevity on these eyeshadows. Okay, this second row has another sort of like matte shade, another glittery metallic shade. This is, I would say, like almost like a matte satin, another glittery gold shade, and then this is like a really warm, rich brown shade that is another matte. So there's a lot of really great warm, I mean, obviously this is called the Sunset Palette. It's all very warm, beautiful sunset. I feel like the look that I did is very sunset. So let me just show you like how incredibly pigmented these all are. Like this is super metallic. And then we'll do this little guy over here. Like very, very pigmented. Here they are up close. This is one of those gold shades I told you. I mean, just so metallic and beautiful. Really great transition shades. These are two nice deepening up shades. This has obviously more red in it. Still a warm brown, but more chocolatey. Really beautiful shades. There's so many really pretty warm looks that you can get. If you're a lover of warm shades, you like metallics and mattes, I think this is just gonna be a very overall pleasing palette to most people. Especially, obviously, those who like these warm shades. Okay, this last row, I love this shade. This shade is like this peachy matte shade, and honestly I was one of the most excited about this shade. It's a really great transition shade. This is more of like a rose gold shade, metallic, beautiful matte red, a matte brown, and then this matte like canary yellow, which is an intimidating shade, but it just works really well to warm everything up, or just to like make a unique transition when you're mixing it. Like it peeks through, it just really gives a good base. Okay, here are those shades up close. So you see that canary yellow, then we have this matte peachy shade, then this rose gold, almost coppery metallic shade, really pretty matte red shade, which is really hard to find a good matte red. This is a beautiful one, it blends out beautifully. And then this deep, dark, rich chocolate brown. Overall, I'm super impressed with how this swatches. I'm really impressed with the way that it applies and blends out, and I just love the color selection. So I would say that if you're willing to spend $129 on an eyeshadow palette, this is going to be something that you will be happy in. Obviously, there are other palettes that you can get the same type of colors. This is just all in one, so it's just a review here. So if you don't have the budget for this, try something like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette that has some of those redder. It also has some of those more rich brown shades and the red shades that you're looking for. So if you're, if you're on a budget, that might be a little bit more budget friendly. But if you have the money to splurge, or if it's something that you're really looking forward to and you want to know what my thoughts are on it, I think it's a great palette, and I'm not disappointed that I spent my money on it. So I always like to put my money where my mouth is sometimes, and I hope it shows, that like when I was reviewing the Star palette, a lot of people were like, oh, well, this was sent to you, so like, would you buy this with your own money? And yeah, I would, because that's how much I love it. And I've bought a ton of Natasha Denona stuff even before they started sending to me on PR, so definitely I'm a huge fan of the brand, and I think they really make great quality products. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this sunset eye look, then go ahead and keep watching. And if not, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. So I'm going to start with this transition shade. I think this is called Bermuda. It's just a matte, really pretty, almost like sherbety coral color. I love it because it's super creamy. It makes the perfect peachy base, and I'm just using a blending brush and putting that through the crease. As you can see, it's opaque and it blends really well. Now I'm going in with this almost has like a sheen to it, but this orangey shade, and I'm putting that also in the crease but a little bit lower. I'm going all the way in the inner corner with this because I kind of want to make it almost like in the shape of how a sunset would look, because this is the sunset palette and we're going to go for a sunset look. Just go ahead and just keep blending, and they all kind of blend into each other and create this really beautiful fade. So now I'm going to take this red shade and that deeper, darker shade, and I'm mixing the brown and the red together, and I'm going to go ahead and put this again lower, even lower in the crease, but creating that sort of like crescent type look where it's in the inner corner and the outer corner, really making it look like a sunset. We're just building these orangey shades up. For the lid, I saw this shade in Mandarin and I was like, yes, I definitely have to use that color. It's this beautiful golden Mandarin sheen, like metallic shade. I love it. It's really, really beautiful. It's nice and soft. I applied it first with my finger and then got it a little bit wet and applied it with a little bit of Fix Plus so that it had a little bit more of a sheen. Then I put this lighter shade Ice Gold on my brow bone, and now I'm deepening it up with this deep dark chocolatey brown. I'm going to put that on the outer corner and again a little bit on the inner corner, and kind of blending those in with the shades. It does get a little bit almost with a sheen in the crease just because it's kind of mixing with the other shades and causing that color to have like a little bit of a sheen. So I'm just kind of blending that in, and as you can see, they're all just kind of melding together because these shades really just blend so beautifully. And then I'm going to go in with a liquid liner. I'm going to use the liquid liner from Cosmetics, and this is the felt tip liquid liner. I really like this. This was the first time I actually used it. I felt like it was really, really dark and black and matte, and I love the way it applied. I'm using some mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara False Lash Effect. I really love that one. And I'm using Sonia Kashuk foundation. This is the matte concentrate. I don't know if this foundation is being sold anymore, but if you can get your hands on it, it's one of my favorites. So I'm going to be really sad if it's not being sold anymore. It's super full coverage. I love it. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer in light neutral. I'm just putting that under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose. And I don't know what made me laugh, but I was on the phone, so usually I'm laughing or on the phone with someone during filming these. So I'm using MAC's Borderline PowerPoint eye pencil. It's like a purple shade. I put that under my eyes, like on my lower lash line, and then I'm using this Horizon. I think the color is called Horizon, like a really pretty orangey shade to kind of blend that out. I just thought a little bit of purple in the look would go pretty with sunset eyes. I'm just using a deeper, darker brown to blend that out, and any of the browns in that palette will work. I just put it on the outer corner and then hit my lower lashes with some mascara. For the inner corners, I'm going with that Ice Gold shade. It's the only like light metallic shade that will be like a highlight for the inner corner in the palette. For my bronzer, I'm using Park Avenue Princess Matte Bronzer from Tarte, and this is an IT Cosmetics fluffy powder brush. We used to blend that all in. Then this blush is called Seduce from Tarte, the Amazonian clay brushes. And then for my highlight, I'm using the Milani Spotlight Afterglow highlighter. These are pure lashes in Diva, and I'm just using this little tool from Tarte to apply that. And then this is MAC lipstick in Sweet and Sour on my lips. And that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing the palette work, and I will see you all in the next video.